You got lines all day long at rec. People scared out of their minds because they're not signed up, the locks ain't ready. There's like 10 people deep all day long out in the rec area. It is nothing but bedlam and insanity with no planning whatsoever. The only thing the attorney cares about is the association, what the association needs, and to cover the association's ass. We are the caboose people. Okay, let's pick up where we left off from the last video. We were talking about the $1.9 million fantasy number that no one has an explanation for. Oh God. Really? Okay, so this was posted January 16th. It's not accessible on Condo Control. It was called Biometric Access System Update. There was an email blast on it. I permanently archived it because I noticed this expiration date and we'd be in trouble. You figure this should have a 7-year data record retention at the very least. But let's move on to accessing the property. They're saying no way the new security system's locking you out of your home. Bullshit. By definition, it is precisely locking you out of your home. Yet more Orwellian dribble as if you think it was 1984. You are locked out of your home. You are dependent on another human and you are treated like a visitor in the very home you may have lived for years and years. In my case, near 15 years. So let's see. If you choose not to register, okay, it's my right. Yeah, of course it's my right. So I will need to either call the rover to confirm who I am and open the door for you in the garages. Remember that. Let's see if they still extend the offer and you're going to have a rover run into the garages. Now, I've called 2 or different rovers in the last 4 or 5 days asking if they know anything about any of this. They've been told nothing. And a rover that's a single rover that's hired for 5 acres to roam for other purposes is going to spend the time for people who have opted out. And you actually think, how long will it take that they'll get to a door and open a garage? What, 5 minutes if you're lucky, 20 minutes if they're in the middle doing something else? Main lobby, yeah. Think of people with challenges going from ground level, somehow getting all the way up to the lobby, like climbing a mountain with the 2 ramps. Moving on, they talk about the disclosure form. No way does opting into the system mean you can't sue the board. That's like a bullshit statement. Anyone could sue anyone at any time. Why are you even saying that? What does that have anything to do with anything? Let's see what else they have here. Oh, you gotta love this. We are confident our attorney created the form with the user in mind. I mean, this sounds like cruise director corporate customer service hogwash. You tell me what attorney on planet is going to care about the end user. The only thing the attorney cares about is the association, what the association needs, and to cover the association's ass. We are the caboose people. Again, it's lip service. Everything about this email is freaking off. Here, take this, protocols. The system's about 80% installed on property. Remember, this is a January 16th email that we got. So they've been here since August 1, 5.5 months. Would say 80%. If you take that, paste it out, that would be another 40 days, it would be complete. Okay, 40 days. But if we go over here and look 10 days later on the 26th, all of a sudden we're on a Friday. This is Friday after office hours, and they, out of nowhere, we've reached the final stage in completing the biometric system. Note that beginning as early as January 29th, the medlocks are going to start being removed. They're going to be done by February 9th. So effectively, they scared the living shit out of everyone Friday night and all weekend long, giving 0-day notice because the office is closed all weekend long. That as early as Monday on the 29th, 3 days later, they'd start removing locks all over the place. Despite in their email 10 days earlier that there would be a meeting before anything like that would happen. Does anyone in this community in their right mind think that this is actually a plan? That this is organized planning? They are making it up as they go along, and that is hurting everyone around here. And then when something goes wrong because of no planning, they're going to blame it on someone else, which seems like just happened the other day. And there's plenty of stress to go around. It's not just the unit owners, it's the office staff as well. You've walked in there, you've seen it, you've been waiting online with all that pressure there being set up to fail, and that's exactly what just happened. The office admin was put under so much extraordinary pressure to the point of panic attack and having a health scare, and that is sad because that's avoidable. In fact, it's unacceptable and intolerable. No one should be subjected to that kind of pressure around here. Understand this, at the end of the day, it is not the staff's fault. It's all about the one-eyed queen being a single point of failure choke point to this place. and everyone else enabling her. This is not sustainable, and change must come now because of it. And anyone who knows anything about project management saw it coming a mile away. In fact, I warned of it in last week's video. I said that pawns will be sacrificed at the altar of the one-eyed queen. She doesn't know the first thing about management, can't take any accountability, and that's why everyone has to fall for her mistakes that she'll never admit. And either this rec board is too weak to do anything about it, or they are in on it. And now you have lines. You got lines all day long at rec. People scared out of their minds because they're not signed up, the locks ain't ready. There's like 10 people deep all day long out in the rec area. It is nothing but bedlam and insanity with no planning whatsoever. And the Rovers still don't even know that they're going to have a new responsibility. And you tell me the logistics of that. And you tell me, right, if they really care about a choice, where's the manpower to staff it? Staff the alternative. They do not care about the alternative. Look what they're doing to everyone. And look how they're rolling it out. This stuff would have been, the remaining 20% shouldn't be 10 days. You do the math on it, should have been another 40 days, 45 days. So their numbers are all wrong. They are not good with numbers. That is a fact. What else do we have here? They say that once the system's completely installed, email be sent and discussed in a meeting. Well, what kind of meeting? A private meeting? A board meeting? That would be some heads up notice. So how can you remove the keys without the meeting? All this sounds contradictory. So they were talking about the privacy disclosure over here and how it's written in your interests and mine. So let's take a quick look. I'm not going to go over every last thing on it. Well, I love this. Implementing the security access system as safeguard to foster the health, safety, and wellness. Okay, I can understand the safety, but what about health and wellness? I don't know, biometrics, maybe it can read the pulse on your finger and tell you how you're doing, if you got blood pressure issues or not. I mean, or at least you get a pulse reading to see if you got anxiety that day. So maybe it will help your health and wellness. Moving on. Oh yeah, here's a problem right here. The member acknowledges the system has been installed by BlueNex and using Suprema products, and that those entities, that means Suprema 2, may have access to the personal information solely to the extent necessary to operate the system. Now, down here it says no internet access. So you tell me how Suprema, which is a manufacturer in South Korea, could potentially have access to our personal information if there is no connection to the internet. That, and you can say that's broad language to cover everyone's, but something doesn't add up there. And you know what? I don't buy it, and I'll tell you why. Because you know what software systems like this needs all the time? There are firmware updates. That means you need to use the internet, short of bringing a floppy fucking disk to upgrade it. Yeah, maybe prove to me they got a CD-ROM reader, so now they'll update the software every once in a while. Sooner or later, the so-called no internet thing is not purely no internet. Sooner or later, that thing will communicate on the internet for firmware updates. Let alone, we don't have any form of data retention policies whatsoever around here. When should all the access points and all the activity logs should be a rolling deleted log every 10 to 14 days? What about the current video on site? We have no idea how long that's being stored for, right? With storage costs these days, it could be indefinite. Where is the data retention policy? And what happens when you sell your home, huh? What guarantee they're going to delete any of that data? You could be forever inside this thing. It's not enough policy, you know? It's just a cover your ass thing written in the association's interest first, not yours. Oh great, and yet again, now the video's running long thanks to having to talk about bio-fucking-metrics. This is a part 3. Hopefully I can wrap it up in one more video in days to come. Thank you and have a great weekend.